It's going to be brisk easterlies today, and tomorrow's is actually going to be wintry showers, most frequent in east, bitterly cold. So today will be bitterly cold, brisk earlies. Easterlies will add a considerable chill factor. The eastern regions will see frequent snow flurries, drifting further west at times, and some bright spells in the west as well. And then tonight is going to be, there will be widespread from across the UK. Snow showers will continue to pile into eastern regions and could turn quite heavy and persistent in places drier and cleaner in the west. Okay, so that's the way of weather. That is actually the update. Let's go to the tube line and look at how it's doing as well, especially if you're at home and you're fortunate to, storm or stock on this news, and then you can get prepared, dress appropriately, wrap yourself properly.
But she tell me she be single. Hey, my label, bingo. Hey, so how many years you the chat been to? Me 1 year, 6 months. 2 years, one done. Maybe she a carry come gonna meet Niger. Say, hey, girls to play, we to the play. See how been to lie, you, me too. Oh my God, that be. You cause problem. Haja, you cause whoa. Charlie, I get this girl from IG. She be so bad. Hey, you carry me, be to I get one day. She be so naughty. Charlie, me too, I get some girl for the G show, gosh. Well, I hope say no be my own, me too no be my yours. Me yours coffee crack come with blood who can afford. Get out of here. You know how many girls I take this play chop. Sorry, I don't know about your last girl that you chop. Hey, you get feel apart, hey. I the shock for me. Hey, too many me alone, mini yabi. You bobber if you know be music, you the cafe. One IG girl, 10 World War 3.
GN Radio, yeah. Oh my God.
Why you guys do person they say so you know they make you sleep, then they call at night time. What be that? What do they want from the girl?
I love someone. Dr. Martine, so I'm bombing your mom in Ethiopia, Dr. Martin Ube Kunya. Hey yo, this is Donna Kwame. I always listen to the finest DJ, Dr. Martin.
There's another one.
The best. Donna Kwame say so. I'm out.
For the motherland. Yes, there's another one. For the motherland. When the shade on the beat,
I like it, Paris beats.
for your info, check the intro, check the logo, I'm for the zongo. Make a link up with the gringo, another hit song, it's a bingo. Enemies, follow me, everywhere, damn you go. Them they look, them they choke, them they want, make me a go ha. I be good girl, come bad, hey, I'm on a my messiah. Into Shano, a mama can see. It's run up yo. Shano, a mama can see. Shano, a mama can see. It's run up yo. Shano, a mama can see. Many men they wish that upon me. All I see is jealousy. Friend indeed, there's friend in me. The more you they hate, Papa, God bless me. I bless you more. I bless you more. I fade, I bless you more. I bless you more. I be good, girl, come bad. Hey, I'm on a my messiah. Into Shano, a mama can see. Shano mama nkasi. Shano mama nkasi. Shano mama nkasi.
He's another one. Make everybody gather around. Dear Mo and I am a time. Moya magana fue humusubai. Mufan saw award. Ne hatola. Media mecca. Minsobia menya so. For them info. We got the reach you. No be this award go make a reach you.
Okay. So on the circle line we have some minor delay. And then Hammersmith and City, minor delays. On the Jubilee line, we have minor delays. London Overground, we have reduced service. Metropolitan, we have minor delays. On the TFL rail, we have minor delays. And then Waterloo and City, we have planned closure. But apart from that, the Bakerloo, the Central District, Northern Piccadilly, Victoria, T, Tram, and the DLR all doing pretty well.
Yes, there's another one.
Okay, so that was the tube line. Now let's look at the other parts of the world. That's some of the news that cropped up. I'm going to check more Dr. Morton show you soon. Fina di video to her the and then put your Facebook to be we're live on Facebook. And I tell you what, just about half past 8 o'clock.
Them they look, them they joke, them they want make me a go ha. I be good girl come bad. Hey, I'm on a my messiah. Into shano a mama kasi. Shano a mama kasi. Shano a mama kasi. Shano a mama kasi. Many men they wish that upon me. All I see is jealousy. Friend indeed, there's friend in me. The more you they hate, Baba God bless me. I bless you more. I bless you more. I fade I bless you more. I bless you more. I be good girl come bad. Hey, I'm on a my messiah. Into shano a mama kasi. Shano a mama kasi. Shano a mama kasi. Shano a mama kasi.
He's another one. Make everybody gather around. Dear Mo and I am a time. Moya magana fue humusubai. Mufan saw award. Ne hatola. Media mecca. Minsobia menya so. For them info. We got the reach you. No be this award go make a reach you. Dream of me. I'm a bayito. Nobody go fi stop this heat though. Cause Jaja.
Oh, shots of Wally. Shots of Wally.
For my enemies,
I think this dude is a bit of no nonsense, but I bet he could rap some of his words a little bit at least. What's he saying? Well, and Chebia themselves. A year or nay, I shall modi. A year a Rams or my friend, or I shall modi. What on these, what all no one can say who these love stone boy. Now, I'm say, Adia Shatawali, a ye be them so coca was some. I done it. Chima mentioned in the Umuguzwa or Moka was some na. I know na. Me and Num Kakreba catch rooms Umunyabut na Umunya Manning. That is right after Bulldogs, some of the utterances he made not too long ago concerning the Kufuad. And then Bulldog actually talked about, what he went through during the BNI interrogations, including the fact that he was served with fufu and all that. I mean, it's very interesting. Anyway, so this is what the news update concerning the tube is. I'm going to bring you the world news.
Everywhere.
See what is going on around us.
Them they joke, them they want make me a go ha. I be good girl come bad. Hey, I'm on a my messiah. Into shano a mama and kasi. Miss Rona Bio. Shano a mama and kasi. Shano a mama and kasi. Miss Rona Bio. Shano a mama and kasi. Many men they wish that upon me. All I see is jealousy. Friend indeed is friend in me. The more you they hate, Baba God bless me. I bless you more. I bless you more. I fade I bless you more. I bless you more. I be good girl come bad. Hey, I'm on a my messiah. Into shano a mama and kasi. Shano a mama and kasi. Shano a mama and kasi. Shano a mama and kasi.
He's another one. Make everybody gather around. Dear Mo and I am a time. Moya magana fue humusubai. Mumfan saw award. Ne hatola. Media Mecca. Misobia menya so. For them info. We got the
You are listening to GN Radio UK.
I'm a bayicho. Nobody go be stop this. Cause every day I pray for my enemies.
Hey, yo, this is Donna Kwame. I always listen to the finest DJ, Dr. Martin. You simply the best. Donna Kwame say so. I'm out.
Okay, so you remember the story of Ruiz Jr., who also beat Anthony Joshua not too long ago. He's actually resurfaced again on the face of the world. Say Tyson Fury is the inspiration for Andy Ruiz Jr. is back on track, says George Capetillo. And then you've got Thomas Partey, identifies a big difference between Mikel Arteta and Diego Simeone. Arteta, I don't know what's happening to him. Is it the fact that he doesn't have luck? Too many controversies surrounding him. Okay, you're still on GN Radio. The we are seeing fanina and some nebremono. Ya kosu wo we are seeing fanina. Send the debiano echeno ye di baby mamu some swaba. Ya boba said 10 o'clock hodoma echo 11 na the chrome gun and some swaba. Tia heni ya kosu e wo we are seeing fanina. We're feeding in the higher GN Radio. Okay, so the first story says Netanyahu's corruption trial resumes weeks before Israeli election. So Benjamin Netanyahu has told judges he is innocent of corruption charges as a high-profile trial against the Israeli Prime Minister resumed weeks before a national election. Right, so following the story says, following a nearly half-year hiatus and repeated delays due to the pandemic hearing, restarted on a Monday. Now, the court expected to announce a scheduled for the potentially explosive witness testimony and evidence stage of the trial. So, as the hearing began, Netanyahu stood in a black surgical mask and was required by the judges to verbally confirm that he backed his lawyer's written defense. I confirm the written answers submitted in my name, Netanyahu told a 3-judge panel. The 71-year-old leader then jotted notes on a pad as his lawyers began to argue against the charges. Inaudible chants of dozens of anti-Netanyahu protesters outside could be heard inside the courtroom. Less than half an hour after the hearing started, Netanyahu stood, thanked the court, and then left the room without objections from the judges. His lawyers continued to speak as the Prime Minister's motorcade departed outside. Israel's longest-serving leader, Netanyahu, alleged to have accepted hundreds of thousands of pounds in luxury gifts from billionaire friends and traded valuable favors with Israeli media and telecoms moguls for favorable news coverages. The story continues to say that Netanyahu, the first 7 Israeli premier to go on trial, has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, alleging he is the victim of potentially motivated witch hunt. regular court appearances could present an image problem for Netanyahu, who also faces discounts over his handling of the coronavirus pandemic. Israel, with a population of 9 million, is facing a relatively high death toll and infection rate. Now, Netanyahu is betting on a world leader vaccination campaign to yield results before the 23rd March national vote. More than 1 in 3 Israelis have received jabs, and last week the country opened vaccinations to anyone over the age of 16. Now, during the past 2 years, Israel has been engulfed in a protracted political crisis in which attempts to form a coalition government has repeatedly broken down. Now, March's election will be the country's fourth within the time frame. Okay, so that is the news coming from Israel. I couldn't believe Netanyahu is that old. 71 years. Well, kudos. So it's about 9 o'clock. You're still on GN Radio. All right, so another story says Storm Darcy. Now, the Netherlands declares code red emergency as a rare snowstorm hits the country. As the worst weather for the decade caused all trains to be cancelled, but raises hopes of the first traditional ice skating marathon for 24 years. Australia's authorities in the Netherlands declared a rare code red emergency for the entire country as it was hit by the first proper snowstorm in more than a decade. So the storm Darcy, which has also sent temperatures plummeting across Germany, packed winds of up to 90 kilograms, that is 55 miles, and sent temperatures as low as 5 degrees Celsius, that is 23 Fahrenheit. So the weather forecast website said that a force 8 wind on Sunday night was measured in combination with the snowfall, adding that this official means as a snowstorm in our country. Not too long ago, I'm saying Chebian US Mamunso Omuya snowstorm, and I'm saying and so kasi bi eto ese maybe it's New York and New Jersey. I think we Australia mamu sorry Netherlands Holland namne I'm saying so kasi bi and also this no nam I say a miama beprinta ma omonya emergency kakra. It is alcohol holidays that are not careful because you've got snow, you've got the winds, you've got storm, you've got flood, and you've got coronavirus. And Yeshua says it's actually an appropriate time to go for holidays in there. Morning, doggy. The same meaning. I hope so everything is very fine. I bet you started your leave. You are home, Kakra. Okay, so check what it's 10 to 9 o'clock. We go to the next section of the program. Okay, so Mimia Madam Nitaki or Facebook will say good morning, Dr. Morton. Watching you live on Facebook. Okay, Taki. You like don't you me? Okay. Morning. Nana Papa B. Good morning, Susam. Hey, Sudan, but send me bonum. It's a great show, Dr. Morton. The Masipi. We Big Jew Durham, the technical producer. It's incredible. Ni Ayitete. Good morning, Dr. Morton. Morning, sir. Okay, just as 10 minutes per near about 9 o'clock, a year non cron, Cassima Bayers and watching. Funny, hopes that with Zidia Machine and Fanya 8 a.m. watching. Yasima, me mistake beer.
Dr. Martin Ube Kunya. Hey, yo, this is Donna Kwame. I always listen to the finest DJ, Dr. Martin. You simply the best. Donna Kwame say so. I'm out.
Okay. Papa Samu Kukrum. Samuel Nature. Aye, Kubu.
You are listening to GN Radio UK.
Sobum.
Papa Samoko Ukuromo, na wombe kumate. Samoko Ukuromo, na wombe kumate.
Hey, everybody. Hi, my name is Jan Papa. I'm a sports journalist, but I love music. And my number one choice is Dr. Morton. Keep it locked right here with Dog.
Oh, Dr. Morton, you are one of the greatest guys I have met. One of the really nice guys on the radio, one of the nicest guys meeting at events. What more can I say? Nobody could get no finer.
Okay, in about 4 minutes, we're going for the commercials at 9 o'clock. And when we come back, we're delving much into African news to look at what's happening around within Africa, within the confines of Africa, and what will be happening in Ghana. So the NDC, I've seen a video that actually questions the fact that the NDC does not seem to be very serious to come up with the reason why they want the courts to actually offer them the attention, you know, to say that, okay, this and this reason why we think we'd had to grant you the focus as to why you think the election was rigged. We're talking much about that. Earlier this week, you remember Kweku Anyiduhu Ekas, you know, so the NDC don't have evidence, especially when Akwe kind of saying, Asiedun Ketia fumbled at the court when he was asked almost figures or almost nyaya according to the pink sheets and the rest of that. You're talking much about that.
The vibe is right. Keep it on the bright side with Dr. Morton every day, all day.
Dr. Morton, you are one of the greatest guys I have met. One of the really nice guys on the radio, one of the nicest guys meeting at events. What more can I say? Nobody could get no finer.
Beke Ghana, Coronity Tumpo and Kofi, in whom say. Okay, so it's about 20 seconds. We'll be stuck on 9 o'clock. I'll leave you in the safe hands. The commercial. I'll be back in a few seconds. Just take it. See you in a jiffy.
And now that's mine. Oh my goodness, on some. I can put that surrender natural. I go yet to why. Oh, Emio. Make sure I'm a sewa about heaven. Adam, Mama, some done. I'll tell you way. Yeah, about heaven. Oh, Emiara. It's about the drama, sewa.
Okay, so welcome back. It's just gone 10 minutes inside 9 o'clock. You're still on GN Radio. The good old Dr. Morton. It's a Monday. What are you up to? And what has the week got for you? Okay, so what is happening around Africa, including Ghana, your motherland?
Listening to GN Radio UK.
GN Radio UK.
Ben Bracken, as I keep mentioning, few funds around the Western and Central region. He's among the few who are still alive, apart from his contemporaries. Some of them who have turned their back, including Papa Kwesi Youngson, Jualaka, Bob Cole, Adam De Ambule is also still alive. These are the legends who entertained Ghana within the 60s and 80s. Yeah, Ben Brown. Also, maybe Margaret, you're bringing the time to 12 minutes past 9 o'clock on GN Radio. Okay, so we're here to give you much about the African news, what is happening, apart from things we ran around the world. Netherlands being hit by a storm of snow that has gotten them into emergency. And then America, a few days ago, it had also been hit with same storm and bad weather, including areas like New Jersey and New York City. Okay, so another news coming from this part of UK is a heavy snow and gale force winds hit southeast England and East Anglia on Sunday, forecast to continue into Monday. A storm brings icy conditions to much of the nation. This is apart from weather news. This is special news, so that everybody will be very cautious of it. Snow nomne. I see rains in the better toto. Nancy and Wahini. Wow, full shoe shirt is a man. Show flash shoe. I do come sandals, can trainers. Why didn't come? I feel like she helps me out.
Bad boy Thames in the building. Spiritual ginger.
Well, I've got some few announcements. I'm going to read it to you very soon, together with the African News.
Garaton biti loda, oh yeah, shout out sound bomba. NDDC MD Maladaku. No way I turn you my kaku. She shall go, I say, yeah, like you walk all along, so go share it to lagoon. How? Osun Ogo, Oji Ogba, Amatosun Logo.
You are listening to GN Radio UK.
I feel my face no more. I can feel my legs no more.
Okay, so you remember not too long ago, an incident when a guy went to Ghana and then tested negative. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Tested positive, and then he was called back to say that they can get it rectified or amended. Now, this, like any other person, he decided to go back and do it just as it is. But, you know, according to the issue, the very man who masterminded this crafty means of extracting money from this guy, whether or not he was caught, it wasn't actually brought into the limelight. So in the sense that Abranti or Ghana fee UK, yeah, so tested coronavirus negative, no. Sorry, positive now. Akweka said, so be a year Juma was asked you, and said, you know, it's actually going to turn it into negative, and then he paid about 500 Ghana CDUCBB. You know, it went viral. Most of the newspapers and the radio stations, both electronic and the print medium, talked about it. Now, we don't know where the story ended, but my question is, at a point in time, somebody resigned from that institution, and I said, where a year COVID was said, would be a resign was faint to you, so called where you, yeah, who story in it be kukusi. And now, another news that has fake certificates of these virus, or say COVID-19 criminals are selling fake test certificates. Europol says. It's very interesting how the story says, let me read it to your hearing. Now, Okay, so the story says COVID-19 criminals are selling fake test certificates. Europol says. So the EU's law enforcement agency has issued a warning that criminals are selling fake certificates, fake negative COVID-19 test certificates. This is so sad. And so you see, what is happening is Ghana and I say any parts of it's not saying where exactly, most part of they're selling fake into Okra. Even if you tested negative positive, you can pay your way through and then get the negative certificates, whether or not you've tested. So we still stand the risk of being infected because Ubia Konas with TSK, that's it, we're tested negative. At the end of the day, we stand at the arm's length getting infected with these viruses. And this, I believe, or I want to see that officials are doing very much they can to make sure they bring the culprits or the perpetrators who are acting in this manner of fake means of acquiring the test into for the full rigor of the law. Now the question is, how many people are being monitored? Nipa saying they are, you should show them, making sure say, okay, he had the right test, whether he had the best items to be tested, and who is following them up. The bottom line is, once the person shows, say, I have the certificate that I've been tested negative, he has every reason to fly back to UK or go back to Ghana. And this is very incredible. I don't get to see how people can do this, and then make sure say they get away with it. Anyway, we'll talk about this and more when we come back. We'll be talking about this, and I'll be looking at who is in charge of this. I know these most of the time are under the health ministry, but are they investigating into these things, and have people been arrested with respect to this act of lifestyle?
I can feel my legs no more. I can feel my face no more. I can feel my legs no more.
Okay, so you remember Ebola in about 6 years ago that hit somewhere like Sierra Leone very badly. I'll say Congo faces new Ebola outbreak months after overcoming one. So the Democratic Republic of Congo, is working to contain a possible resurgence of Ebola in its east after a case of deadly